Good evening. I do trust your day has been fantastic. It is 9 p.m. time to get you informed. Let's begin with the highlights. National Assembly Speaker upholds Kenya Kwanza region. And human rights activists call on President William Ruto and police IG to investigate the murder of Kisii-based taxi driver lured to Nairobi and murdered.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
Welcome. Continue engaging with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. On the sign language interpretation is Sami Okelo. Now, the announcement by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, that the Kenya Kwanza coalition holds the majority in the National Assembly caused a stir in the House, with Azimio's MPs strongly disagreeing with this decision. Wetangula's stance differed from the High Court's ruling, which had nullified his earlier decision and maintained that Kenya Kwanza's 165 MPs constitute a clear majority compared to Azimio's 154.
Moses Masika Wetangula.
Order. Order, honorable members, take your seats.
The Speaker of the National Assembly was this afternoon eagerly awaited by members of Parliament to clarify the issue of who holds the majority and who is in the minority.
Honorable Mwenje, if you are in leadership, show example.
The matter had left MPs in a state of confusion and short of the actual numbers in the count following a controversial ruling by the High Court.
Article 124 of the Constitution empowers the House to regulate its own procedure, and the other arms of government have a duty to refrain from interfering with this privilege. A question such as the one referring to the majority and minority party falls within this privilege and must, as of necessity, be guarded jealously and only.
Differing from the court's inclination that he had erred in his earlier calculation of the majority by recognizing and declaring Kenya Kwanza as the majority, Wetangula defended his decision by detailing the number of MPs on each side.
Honorable members, I guide as follows. The Kenya Kwanza coalition is the majority party in the House. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party is the minority party in the House. To the extent that I have not received any communication of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party or the Kenya Kwanza coalition replacing their leadership in the House, the leadership existing as at the end of the last session.
The court's ruling put the Speaker at odds for going against the Constitution by violating Article 108 on the 6th of October 2022 when he declared Kenya Kwanza as the majority.
At the beginning of the debate, I gave honorable members some general direction in the issues from the judgment as I understood them, including the fact that the judgment did not bar the Speaker from presiding over the House. Indeed,
according to the Speaker, the Azimio One Kenya coalition has a total of 154 MPs, including 83 from ODM, 28 from Jubilee, 26 from Wiper, 5 from KANU, 3 from DAP Kenya, and 1 from KUP, MDG, and NOPEA. Kenya Kwanza, on the other hand, has a total of 165 members of parliament, with 145 from UDA, 8 from ANC, 6 from Ford Kenya, 2 from the TSP party, and 1 each from DP, CCM, NAP Kenya, and GDDP.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say that today you are Ngamatek. Ngamatek is the strong man. You are stepping on my mother's toe. But I will respectfully tell you, Mr. Speaker, that I don't agree with you as a strong man.
MPs from the Azimio side appeared dissatisfied with Wetangula's decision, as he did not allow for debate on the matter, walking out of the House following his announcement.
That you are stepping on my mother's toe. And as Azimio, we are going to take further action. until you stop stepping on my mother's pipe. And I respectfully, Mr. Speaker, note your communication.
Furthermore, the decision has added to the confusion witnessed among the MPs when they resumed sessions yesterday, raising questions about the weight of decisions made by various arms of government and the role of court guidance in interpreting the law.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 17-1,
Order, members, those who are recessing.
Emmanuel Gutosi, KUTV.
Many thanks, Manuel Kutusi, for that report. We'll continue to continental issues. Now, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga today entered the final stretch of his campaigns for the Africa Union chairmanship in Somalia and Burundi ahead of the official elections set for the 15th and 16th of this month in Addis Ababa. Raila is set to face Djibouti's Mohamed Yusuf and Madagascar's Richard Randriamandrach in readiness to hand over the office. Moussa Faki Mahamat gave his last address as the outgoing chairperson of the Africa Union Commission.
Ahead of the African Union Commission chairperson elections later this week, Raila Odinga on Wednesday continued casting his net in the remaining parts of the African countries he had not sold out his agendas to, like Somalia and Burundi. Raila, who is on the race alongside two other candidates, Mohamed Yusuf from Djibouti and Richard Randriamandrato from Madagascar, through his manifesto that includes promoting gender equality, advocating for peace across Africa, and boosting trade relations between African countries, Raila has said that he is ready to bring development and transform the image of Africa. For months, Raila has been on a charm offensive across the continent, seeking to secure votes from African heads of states. So far, countries believed to support Raila include Zimbabwe, Togo, and Zambia, among others. However, for Raila to win this race, he needs to secure 33 votes from the African Union member states. Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi, along with other Kenyan leaders, have rallied behind Raila Odinga, encouraging Kenyans to offer their support for him in the upcoming election.
We need a strong voice in this moment of crisis. We need a unifying factor. We need a Pan-Africanist who can talk and engage at the very high level with the various leaders in the conflict-prone zones.
Under AU laws, voting is done by secret ballot and continues until one of the candidates obtain 2/3 of the votes. Despite the intense competition, Raila has continued to express hope that he will bring success not only to Kenya, but also to the entire continent. Ochieng Cynthia, KUTV.
Now, a section of religious leaders from the Ukambani region have told off Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka for what they termed as spreading bad politics without focusing on development. Led by the chairperson of the National Council of Churches in Kenya, Archbishop Timothy Ndambuki, the leaders who spoke after a private meeting in Machakos have urged Kalonzo to change his political position, saying that Ukambani remains marginalized in the government due to his separation from the government.
Religious leaders from the Ukambani region have openly attacked Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka for what they claim is bad politics that is hindering development in the area. They now want Kalonzo to change his political positions, which seem to remain firm and unchanging. Speaking after a private meeting in Machakos, the leaders led by Archbishop Timothy Ndambuki hinted that the Ukambani region will continue to lag behind in development unless Kalonzo changes his hardline stance on remaining in opposition after every election.
We are arising as an association of clergy, irrespective of our denominations, to stand in the gap because there is no voice for the people on the side of the politicians from the region. Unless we have strong muscles of the politicians, therefore, our society cannot be healed. We will continue suffering.
The attacks comes as Kalonzo Musyoka continues to apply heavy pressure on President Ruto's government, insisting that the situation in Kenya is dire.
Raundi hii ni sisi wenyewe tujikomboe. Wangapi wako tayari kukomboa nchi yao na wajikomboe wao wenyewe? Kuna sababu upande wa matibabu kumezorota, si ni kweli? Unasikia shi na sha. Hiyo ni upuzi mtupu, si ni kweli?
However, the clergy sharply blamed the government for what they termed as high cost of living, claiming that many Kenyans are now facing hardships.
The public is crying out about abductions and the disappearances of our children. The cost of living is high, and many young people do not have jobs. The business environment has become unfriendly with corruption. On almost every door, one knocks.
As Kalonzo Musyoka continues to tighten his opposition against President William Ruto's government, the pressure from these religious leaders in Ukambani seems to be mounting against him. The main question remaining, will Kalonzo ease his stance following the attacks? James Baraka for KUTV.
A section of Garissa members of County Assembly MCAs have strongly defended President William Ruto's decision to abolish the identity card vetting process for the citizens in the northeastern region. The MCAs dismissed critics opposing the move, arguing that all Kenyans deserve equal treatment regardless of their ethnicity.
The controversial vetting process, introduced in 1990 due to national security concerns, required residents of border counties to undergo additional scrutiny before acquiring national identity cards. However, during his recent tour to the northeastern region, President Ruto scrapped the requirement, a decision that has sparked mixed reactions.
Leo nimesema hiyo maneno ya vetting iondolewe, ndio vijana wote wa Kenya wapate vitambulisho vile wa Kenya wengine wanapata vitambulisho bila ya matatizo.
Opponents of the move, including Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya, have warned that removing vetting could allow criminal elements, including Al-Shabaab operatives, to infiltrate the country's security systems by fraudulently acquiring Kenyan IDs.
I want to address Honorable Governor Natembeya. You don't deserve to be a governor. Because wanasemaga uko na uraia mingi sana ndani ya ukurutu yako. You have first contested as an elected position as a governor. You have seen the office is so weighty that you opted to go on press statement every now and then. That shows that you don't qualify to be a governor. So we are calling him, kindly stick your mandate as a governor for Trans Nzoia.
In response, Garissa MCAs led by Baraki Ward MCA Hassan Gelei have dismissed these claims as misleading and politically motivated.
The Kenyan of Somali origin got independence 3 times. We got the first independence from the colonial government. We got the second independence under the 2010 constitution after we got the devolution. The third one is the proclamation by His Excellency William Ruto after the removal of this vetting.
Addressing the press outside their offices, the MCAs insisted that the people of northeastern Kenya have long been marginalized and unfairly denied their right to identification documents.
The vetting that used to happen with the security, a security officer from NIS or the DCI will tell you, wewe ni mweusi, mama ni mweupe. So mtoto si huyu mama. Those were colonial tantrums. What has the DCI to do with whether you are Kenyan or not? What has NSIS to do whether you are Kenyan or not? Even some of the applicants have their degrees, have their KCSE living certificate, have their KCP certificate, and that is a proof to show that they are Kenyans.
Abasi Gale MCA Mohammed Sheikh echoed these sentiments, lamenting that residents in the region have had to endure a lengthy and rigorous process, often waiting over 6 months to receive their IDs, emphasizing that this bureaucratic hurdle has cost many young people crucial opportunities that require identification.
and to my party leader and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka. I was elected on a party ticket, and my community are asking me what happened to our party leader. What happened? Why is it that he's talking crap on matters of acquiring ID cards? These are the people who voted for him, and we don't know why his utterance is causing a lot of problem within the community. He should rescind that, and he should apologize to the people we are all serving.
As debate continues over the scrapping of the vetting process, the MCAs are calling for full implementation of the directive without further opposition. Their stand reflects the broader demand for equality in access to national documents, a matter that remains critical in fostering national unity and inclusivity. Theo Masharia, KUTV.
That report from Garissa County by Theo Masharia takes us to our first break. We'll be back with more.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Kemuma James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
They find it quite strange talking to you.
We should just make schools integrated,
Inclusive setups.
by providing the right facilities.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
And we are back. Continue engaging with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. We are streaming live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Now, a human rights organization in Kisii is calling on President William Ruto and Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja to investigate the circumstances surrounding the kidnapping and murder of a taxi driver who is said to have been kidnapped, killed, and his body dumped in a mortuary in Nairobi. Here is that report produced by Helen Kiplagat. As cases of kidnappings continue to create widespread panic across the country, Bernard Nyamwaro, the Director of Communications at Juhudi Africa, has called on Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja to investigate the mysterious murder of Tyson Moindi. Tyson Moindi was a taxi driver who is believed to have been abducted, murdered, and his body dumped at Nairobi City Mortuary.
Nauliza Mheshimiwa Kanja ya kwamba unapoendelea kufanya kazi na kutekeleza wajibu kwa mujibu wa sheria iliyowekwa, tunakuuliza hiyo investigation ifanywe na wale ambao wahusika washikwe na wahukumiwe.
Tyson Moindi, aged 43, from Nyaribari, Masaba, is said to have been brought to Nairobi by unknown people who sought taxi services from him. The customers later suddenly turned into kidnappers and took him from his vehicle registration number KDS 412S to Ruai and Karura Forest before his body was later traced and found at Nairobi City Mortuary. Nyamwaro has called for a thorough investigation into the murder and for a quick apprehension of the suspects.
Nakupea siku 7 uweze kutupea report, na kama si hivyo sisi kama shirika ya kutetea haki za binadamu tunaenda kotini na kusema hiyo kazi hauwezani.
Nyamwaro now says he has given the Inspector General of Police 7 days to conduct the investigation or publicly admit failure.
Ya kwamba mambo haya yalitendeka miaka kama 2 ama 3 imepita. Kuna dereva ambaye alikuwa anaitwa Onyono, alikuwa anaendesha wish kutoka Nairobi kuja Kisii.
He pointed out that this is not the first case of kidnapping and a murder, highlighting that such incidences have been happening for the past 2 years.
Wananchi wa Kisii, haswa wale ambao wanaendelea kuomboleza kifo cha Tyson, mmoja wa madereva wanoa kutoka Kisii kwenda Nairobi, Nairobi Kisii, aliweza kuwa abducted na akazungushwa Nairobi usiku mzima, kisha amepatikana leo City Mortuary.
Moindi's mysterious murder now becomes the second killing after an unresolved incident involving a taxi driver on the same route. Now, in protest over delays of payment, lecturers and staff at the Technical University of Mombasa TUM paralyzed learning and operations. The Dons want the 2017-2021 local collective bargaining agreement implemented, the pay slips harmonized, release of their 2-month unpaid commuter allowance of 2020, and the statutory deductions to be remitted on time. Dr. Constantine Wesonga, the National Secretary General of University
Union. I want to urge the government to take full control of university payrolls. Sure. Just the way the government pay other public sector employees. That is what we want to be done to university workers in this country. Oh, yes.
2019 hii university hawakulipa commuter allowance 2020 ya 2 months. Sasa wafanyikazi wanasema wanataka hiyo pesa ilipwe leo. Vile niko hapa leo, nitatoka hapa wakishalipa.
Now let's take another break. We'll be back with the sports.
In a world where uncertainty rules and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, business strategies and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, what you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
Let's get sporty. Football stakeholders in Kilifi County have been urged to invest more in sports and other talent development programs to nurture the talents of young sportsmen in the county to steer them away from harmful paths. Take a look.
It was the battle of the Titans,
as the best teams from Kilifi took to the pitch to square it out with each other in a spectacle fashion, with Mtangani FC beating Sandoki FC 4-2 on penalties after settling for 1-1 draw to clinch the boys' trophy, while Green Marble FC took the girls' trophy after hammering Mtangani FC 3-1 in the finals of soccer tournament at the Sandoki Sports Ground in Kwandome area. The ambitious program initiated by Sabaki Ward Member of County Assembly in Kilifi County aims to tackle the pressing issues of drug addiction and teenage pregnancies in the area.
Hii mambo ya kuweka vijana kwa pamoja na si ni hii ya mpira tu peke yake. Sahi bado tunaangalia mbinu nyingine. Kuna talanta tofauti tofauti. Kuna wachoraji pia. Hao pia tutawatafuta. Aina tofauti tofauti. Tunataka tuweke vijana wote kwa pamoja ili tuhakikishe Sabaki yetu mambo ya uhalifu imeisha. Tunataka tuizike kabisa kwa kaburi la sahara.
Inakuwa pia ni changamoto. Asilimia kubwa ya youth sahi kwa sababu yake tumeingia kwa sports, tumeachana na drugs na vitu kama hivyo. So mimi ningekuomba mama, kama kuna chances kama hizi pia uzikutuletea, tutashukuru kama youth, kwa sababu challenge yetu kubwa ni kukaa idle kwa street.
The area MCA says that the introduction of sports and other talent development programs will help to nurture talents of young sportsmen and steer the youth away from harmful paths.
Wasichana sasa nao tumewashikilia kwa sababu naona katika Sabaki, mimi tangu nilikuja nikashtuka, kumbe Sabaki ndo katika Kilifi County ina lead kwa mimba za mapema. So mimi nimewaeka bega kwa bega ili nihakikisha tunaepukana na hizo mimba za mapema.
Ms. Baraka made a rallying call to stakeholders to invest more in talent development to address social challenges facing many youths in the county. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, a late goal from Jude Bellingham gave Real Madrid a 1-goal advantage going into their second leg tie against Manchester City, set for next week at the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid, Spain. Erling Haaland scored a brace before Kylian Mbappe and Brahim Diaz equalized in a Champions League last 16 playoff. Jude Bellingham struck the last nail in City's coffin with a 92nd minute tap-in. Well, thank you for being with us through this entire broadcast. That is all the time we had for you tonight. On behalf of the entire team responsible for this particular production, have a blessed night. I have been yours, Yvonne Kemuma. On the sign language interpretation was Sami Okelo.